Hey dancers, wanted to do a little something different for you today. We're going to use a resistance band like so. This is a really long one, which is kind of nice to have, but if you have any kind of band, it'll probably work for most of this. If you don't, you could try using a towel or like one of those rubber tubes, that kind of thing. I will include on the notes to this video a link to Amazon where you can get the kind of band I like to use. They're not that expensive. They might take a while to ship right now, but it's a really handy tool to have as a dancer. Probably a lot of you have them already. If you've ever been to physical therapy, I'm sure your PT gave you one. Great thing to have in your dance bag, obviously, for warming up different situations. So here we go. This is going to be kind of hopefully a little bit more flow oriented, but keeping it sort of simple because we don't want anybody snapping themselves in the face with the bands. Be careful about your setup. Probably not quite as complicated as I would get if I had you in person, just because I can't check how you're setting up. But anyway, hopefully fun. These are great kind of just quick overall exercises, warm-ups, things you can do in addition or before your ballet classes, other workouts, anything like that. I really like the resistance band just because the way that it stretches and then you have to control it on the way in is exactly the way that we want our muscles working when we dance, right? It's like our releve and then our deceleration on the way down. The concentric muscle work and the eccentric muscle work. That's what makes that long, lean dancer body, makes us have great control, balances our muscles, and that's what we would be doing if you were working with me on the equipment, a lot of that kind of stuff. So it just changes the focus as opposed to doing these exercises without any prop. So give it a try, give me some feedback, tell me what you think. So we're gonna start with the band around our back. And you'll notice if you've looked at the other videos that I put out for you, some of these are the same exercises, but you'll feel things differently with the band. So we're gonna do our breathing with the band behind our ribs today. It takes a second to set it up, but it's worth it. Try to get it kind of flat on there. It's gonna help us use the back of our body to breathe, which is not something that we tend to do. So if you feel like you have trouble sitting up when you're cross-legged, sit up on a cushion, a chair, a bolster. You could put your feet down on the floor. You don't want to be tense before you already start. All right, so we're holding the band from underneath and it's right behind our ribs. We're just going to take an inhale and feel the ribs open up backwards into that band. Inhale and exhale. So a lot of times we breathe in the front body, but you can kind of fill up the back ribs into that band and then kind of let the tension on the band help you blow that air out. On the exhale, begin a little bit of that transversus abdominis breathing we were working on. So drawing in between those hip bones to pull this in. Inhale, open up the back ribs, and exhale, pull up between those hip bones. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so we want to feel this, but don't feel like you're working too hard. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. Now we're going to change it up a little bit, feet out in front of you if you can, or sit on the edge of that chair and you're just going to round forward over your legs. You're going to take your hands on your knees, kind of slide them down, drop your head, shake out your neck, get rid of any tension there, and now inhale again into the band. Inhale, exhale, relax. A couple more times, nice long inhale, open up the back ribs, exhale, relax. Heavy sit bones, 1 more time, inhale, and exhale. Roll it up, cross those legs 1 more time. Now we're gonna cross the band, okay? Grab it so that it's like wrapped around your body. We're gonna start to warm up some of those muscles that twist us, like those obliques, and feel the connection between our arm and our body. So you're gonna straighten one arm, you're gonna follow that hand with your eyes and twist toward that arm and come back in, and then do the other side. And it just helps to feel those muscles that are working when we rotate. And how, if we work our arms and our upper back, it's all connected. So this is a feeling we want for our épaumont when we dance and for our pirouettes. The upper back, the arms, all connected to our torso twisting. Pull and open, come back in. Pull and open, come back in. Always keep it nice and smooth and controlled, especially on the way in. This this part's easy to feel, but we don't want to go boing, right? 2 more times. Reach, come back in, and reach, come back in. Okay, uncross the band, keep it right where it is. We're gonna lay down on our back with the band underneath our upper back. We're gonna reach our fingers up for the sky. Here we're gonna do that shoulder blade thing, that's really good for getting the shoulder blades flat on the back. Figure out what tension you wanna have, and then inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, let that band help you draw those shoulder blades back behind you. Press up through the band. We're using that serratus muscle that helps those flat shoulder blades. Pull them back. Inhale, reach, pull them back. 3 more, up and back. Good, 2, and back, keeping the ribs quiet, up and back. Good, just open out to the side. Turn your head side to side. Let all of that go. Good, come back to the center, cross those arms over, take a deep breath, wrap behind your shoulders, let those shoulders come up to your ears, and relax. Okay, now we're gonna flip onto our stomach, keeping the band right where it is. But you're gonna grab the band so that you're holding it closer to you and kind of almost pressing the band down into your upper back, right where your bra strap would be or the top of your leotard. And scoop those back pockets down towards your heels, nose down. Pull that belly button up a little bit, and now we're lifting and we're using that band to feel the upper back bend, right? We're not doing this big back extension. We're trying to get the upper back to move. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. Inhale, lift, exhale, down. 3 more, up and down, up and down. 1 more, up and down. Take the band a little wider out to the side, and now we use the whole back body to lift and come down. So here, again, we're using the band to help feel how our attachment of our arms to our upper back can help us lift maybe a little higher than we could without the band. If you want to go into a fuller back extension, that's okay at this point. 3, down, 2, down, 1, and down. All right, hands right by your shoulders. We're gonna press up into our hands and knees. Okay, I'm gonna turn around so that I can see you better. So make sure the band's between your thumb and your forefingers so that you can get your hands flat underneath your shoulders. Again, here we repeat our shoulder blades. So sink the chest between your shoulders and then press it away. Down and up. Your nose is gonna be down to the mat. If you have trouble feeling this business with your shoulder blades, the band is going to be really helpful to you. It's also kind of helpful to give a little bit more stretch in this direction. 1 more. Now we add our cat-cow. We tuck our hips, round your upper back into that band. So a lot of times when we do this kind of stuff, our lower back likes to move a lot, not so much our upper back. But you can see how my upper back's really pushing into that band. Great stretch. If you're feeling like tight and stressed out in your upper back, your shoulder blades and your neck, this is really helpful. 2 more. Feel those hip bones pulling together as well. And 1 more. Good. All right, let's see what we have next. That's kind of a little bit of warm up. 1 leg up. Okay, so we come back to this. We're gonna kick it up a notch here, and we're gonna go into a plank. The band is helpful to feel that really strong upper back so that we don't end up like this when we go into our plank. Okay, that happens a lot. So gather everything into a nice flat line. Reach 1 ball of the foot back, the other ball of the foot back. Squeeze those legs together, the hips down in line with your shoulders. Don't let anything change. Float 1 foot off, point the toes, put it back down. Up, point, come back down. Now you can add a little rock back with that point. Return, set it down. Lift up, rock, point, return, set it down. Let that band help you feel really strong in that upper body. A lot of times that's a challenge. Reach and down. 1 more each side. Reach, heart rate hopefully coming up now. Point and down. Good. Okay, take out that band for a second. Roll the wrists. Come into a little child's pose. Shake the head out. Roll it up and just notice how activated all of this is, right? If you were to take your first or second position, I mean, I can really feel my upper back super active. So you can see how that would be a good warm up too for class. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit of harder ab work using the legs, and I'm using the upper body. So we're gonna take the the middle of the band again. Now we're gonna wrap it around our foot. Make sure it's nice and flat so it doesn't slip off. Okay, right in the middle of your foot. You're gonna come down, one knee bent, foot flat, and one knee bent, foot in the air. You want your arms kind of bent at your side like this, and we're gonna press and bend. Now, it kind of depends what resistance band you have, how hard this feels. It's not super hard for me to stretch my leg, but what we want to do here is use the butt to stretch the leg and then relax the hip flexor on the way in, everybody. So a lot of people have really tight hip flexors. Because the band is holding up our leg right now, we can feel it bend without this being all tight. So that's a really good thing for anybody who's got some hip issues. We go for 3 and 2, good, and 1. Take your foot up to the sky, stretch your other foot long, flex your bottom foot, keep the top foot flexed. Take your arms out to the side. If you're on the floor, press your hands down on the floor. Keep your hips square, and we're gonna do our leg circle. We can probably get it a little bigger than without the band, keeping our hips still, because the band is kind of helping to hold the leg up. And you wanna breathe, exhale. Oh. 2 more. 1 more. Reverse. Check in with your bottom leg. Is it pretty parallel? I bet it turned out a little bit. Sneaky turn out. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Switch your other foot into the band right here. We're going to start with the leg circles on this side just to keep it moving. Notice the difference from side to side. Might be pretty significant. A lot of us have one stronger standing leg. So that side's going to feel a little easier, a little more in control. 1 more. Reverse. And you can kind of tell, again, the arms are supporting the leg, pressing against the band, so how this becomes more of a full body exercise because we're working the arms as well. So it kind of ups the challenge. Look, there goes my band. Okay, if your band slips, just go ahead and put it flat again. Okay, bend both legs. Now we're grabbing closer on the band. Elbows are bent by the waist. We kick that foot away and bend. We kick and bend. Try to feel the butt squeeze on the way out. Relax the front of the hip on the way in. Check in with your pelvis. We don't want it doing any tucking. We don't want it doing any sticking out stuff. Try to keep that neutral that we talked about a few videos ago. We go for 4, 3, 2, don't forget to breathe, and 1. Go, take that band off your foot. You're gonna lay it flat just below your knees on your shins. And we're gonna go for some hundreds here. So find where you can hold your band and kind of stretch your arms, well, mostly down by your side. Nod your chin to your chest, lift your head and shoulders up, and we do our little arm puffs into the band. We inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 2, 4, 5, keep the legs still, 3, 4, 5, keep the shoulders up, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. So none of this pumping with your arms, everything's nice and isolated. Squeeze your legs together, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, almost there, 3, 4, 5, and lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, get up higher than me, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, we go 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, last 2, best 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, up higher, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, good, reach and lift, come on down, nice job. Okay, now you're gonna put your band underneath both feet and come on back to that bent knee position. Again, we lift up, bend the elbows right at the waist. We stretch and bend. So we're kind of putting these two ideas together where we're using the butt to stretch the legs, supported by the arms so the hip flexors are relaxed. We're really using the abs. And stretch. And stretch. Good, we go for 5. And 4. You can use those biceps to help you come up more. Very dynamic. 3. And 2. And 1. Pause right here. Get a little more length on the band. We're going to add on. Stretch those legs. Oh, need more. Come to the end of the band. Stretch the legs. reach those arms overhead. If you don't have a really long band, this probably won't work for you. Stretch to the side, come back in, reach, circle in, really big control here. So this is a lot of work in those shoulders, a lot of shoulder stability. Kind of feels like you can't almost do it, but you can unless you have a really, really strong band. And this one's gonna be really hard too. Circle, 2 more, reach, exhale here to engage the abs. One more time. Really good full body core stuff, everybody. Awesome. All right, lay that band down for a second, feet right underneath your sit bones, and we're just gonna roll it up and roll it down. Just to put all that together. Take it down for a second. 2 more, press. Lower, 1 more press. All right, awesome, great work. Cranking right along here. Okay, we're gonna sit on our band one more time. This is a good one to do in a chair or on a bench, but you could also sit cross-legged. So we're gonna work on the shoulders again one more time. We've talked about how important the placement of those shoulders on the back is without displacing the ribs. That's a really tricky thing. So we're gonna work on our external rotators, part of our rotator cuff. Take your band from underneath and put your elbow right by your waist. Check in with your ribs. Make sure they're not like this because we're working hard. They're pulled in, but we're still lifting up from the ears. And we rotate the arm without changing anything else. Rotate and rotate. We also don't want to be using the back at this point to rotate the arms, and we don't want to be tipping to the side. All of those other muscles might try to work to compensate for that shoulder. Teeny tiny muscle that connects to our shoulder blade that rotates the arm this way. Sometimes it doesn't like to work. And if you have a really heavy band, you won't be getting this range of motion. You can still do the exercise, but you'll just be doing a small pull, okay? 3 more, 3, and 2, and 1. Now we do second exercise with this side of the band. We come into a first position, holding onto the band, and we're gonna rotate and come back in. I need a little bit more resistance. Rotate. You wanna feel, again, this shape is maintained, and now it's the torso, front and back side that are rotating us. Our whole shoulder girdle and our arms are holding their position by working isometrically. So that's when we hold the stuff in place when resistance is coming at it. Good. We go for 5 and a 4. Really good for your waistline, this one too. Good. Last one, little pulses. Pulse, pulse, pulse. We go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in. Set that side of the band down. Roll it out. Maybe starting to get a little tight up in there, so try not to get too much in the neck. Gotta do the other side to keep it evenly balanced. So I'm right-handed. This side's gonna be a little weaker for me. And rotate. Good. As you get tired, check in with those ribs. Mine are already starting to go like this. Trying to compensate. Keep breathing. Again, this is a pretty small movement. Don't try to muscle it too much. We go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take it out farther on the band. One hand on top of the other. First position. And make sure that it's your back that's turning on this one, guys. We don't want the arms going. There's like an imaginary string from your chest, middle of your sternum, out to your hands, and your nose is right over those hands. And you can kind of imagine your pirouette here. Is anyone trying to do pirouettes like in their kitchen? I've done that before. I broke a toe actually one time doing that, so don't do that. Be careful. We go for 2 and 1. Rotate. Stay there, little pulse, pulse, pulse. We go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Right. Woo! Roll that out. Let's see. Okay, now we're gonna kill the hips for a second in the turnout. Then we're gonna stand up, do a couple things standing, and you'll be on your way. Maybe to your ballet bar, I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna do some of our side leg stuff, but adding the resistance of the band, which is killer. So you're gonna tie the band just above your knees, everybody. And you're gonna tie it pretty tight so your legs are together. The band just has a little bit of slack. And you can loosen or tighten it depending on where you're at with your hip strength. If this feels like crazy hard, make the band a little bit tighter or a little bit looser. If you want more, make it tighter. And then you are clamshell. Up, up. So my knees aren't bent all the way up. They're not straight. They're kind of 50-50. And we're gonna keep the resistance in the band the whole time so we don't really close that top knee all the way down. And make sure that the hips are stacked, everybody. We don't wanna be twisting. Defeats the purpose. We wanna really feel those lateral rotators, turn out muscles. Really good to get some resistance on those puppies. Good. And I'm gonna do a few more. If you're not feeling it yet, just pause the video, do like 10, 15 more reps. We can stop at the top and pulse, 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 pulse for 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, we're gonna straighten the legs. We're gonna flex the top foot. Make sure everything's super parallel because we're trying to get into that glute medius. Remember that one that helps to push us up out of our standing leg. And we're just doing little pulses at the top of the band. Good. Keep going till it burns. Let's do 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1, and relax for a second. All right, let's swing it around. Bang out the other side. Okay, so not bent all the way up, bent like halfway. That's kind of right where we're gonna hit the right muscles, okay? Good. Again, keep the hips and the shoulders stacked, everything controlled. Keep breathing. Maybe think about this top waist being a little bit longer so we're not collapsed on the bottom side. Good. 10. And 8, 6, 4, 2, up at the top, little pulse, 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 pulse. Hopefully feeling it burn. I don't know, your turnout's probably more in shape than mine. So keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good. Stretch those legs straight. Lift that top leg up and up. And this one especially, we don't want to sink into that lower side. Pull that lower side up, connecting under here, setting that hip away. Make sure you're parallel. Am I parallel? I don't know. I think I'm turning out a little bit. Make sure this hip's not back. My hip was back. Bring it forward. There you go. Well, right here. Good for a 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Good. Come on up. Undo your band. Sometimes these knots are a pain. You can always, if you get the pack of bands that I'm going to recommend, there's like more than one in there. So you can always have one tied up the way you want it, and the other one not tied up, and then you're ready to go. All right, so now we've kind of hit everything. We're going to stand up for a second. Should have got my other band out because I have another one. That's okay. This is in real time. Okay, so we're going to do some standing squats with arms. We kind of did this with some weights the other day, but a little different quality to control with the band. Okay, again, a long band is good for this. So if you don't have a long band, just maybe don't put the short one under your feet, or use the weights like we did the other day. Back up a little bit. Okay, so we're standing, can't quite see my feet, but I'm standing right on a flat band, okay? Make sure your feet are on it really good. Walk your hands down the band. Stand up straight, and we're gonna try a little bicep curl. And you really wanna feel some resistance here, but not so much resistance that your shoulders are like this up to your ears. No, shoulders down. Pull those hip bones together. Little activity in the bum to support us. Don't collapse either one. We bicep curl, press into your heels. Keep your ears away from your shoulders. Get longer each time. Engage the abs more. As you curl those arms, feel that full body work. Good. We go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Ready? Bring it up. Little pulse, 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 pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Stretch it long. Roll out the shoulders. Okay, if you want to do another set, just pause the video and you can do it out on a V. That's kind of a good option. Now we're going to squat. Bend the knees, stick your booty out. Out, out, out. So this is a squat. We want this. We want that butt out. All right, walk those hands down maybe a little bit. Straight arms. We're going to reach them back. Reach them back. Good. So it's pretty hard to keep those arms straight. And I'm leading with the knuckles so the wrist doesn't bend like this. Again, one arm will probably try to take over. The ribs might shift to the side. If you have a mirror you can look in, check it out. Again, no shoulders up to the ears. Shoulders down, neck long. So pull those abs in your squat. Try to connect those hip bones, but now the butt's not squeezing, right? Because we're sticking it out behind us. We're closer to a neutral. Gonna tuck. Good, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, lift up, hold, and relax. Right, roll it out. Take that band out. Let's do a little neck stretch. Ear to shoulder. Reach the opposite arm out to the side. Exhale. Other ear to shoulder. Hand out. Good. Press the arms over your chest. Take a deep breath. Side out. Side to side. Elbow up. Throw that hand back behind you. Pull on that tricep a little bit. Other side if you're super flexible. This one's a little hard to feel, but give it a go. Excellent. Okay. So since you have your band out, it's always a good idea to do some ankle work. Keep those ankles nice and strong. Put this on the ball of your foot and work through your dummy point. Point the toes, dummy point, and flex. And you can do that maybe 20 times. And then you're gonna do a circle, kind of articulating through the ball of your foot again, kind of fanning the toes around. So start with your big toe, pinky toe, come in, big toe, pinky toe, come in, reverse, pinky toe through to the big toe. And once we're done here, you can always pause this and do a whole bunch of those. I had a lot of sprained ankles. That was kind of my thing when I was a dancer. That's how I started in the Pilates, PT. Anybody who's had ankle stuff, you've been given all this TheraBand stuff, but it's a really good time to do that. You can hook the TheraBand, tie it around the bottom of like a sofa leg, and do all your stuff, like your winging and your sickling and your flexing. That's a good one. Put your toes in it, flex those toes back, get the shin. Okay, circle in both directions. All right, one more stretch. We're gonna take our hands wide on the band, lift them up overhead, stretch through the chest. Lift your nose, exhale, bring it forward, nod your chin, round all the way over, let the head go, roll it up, take them back one more time so it feels good. Inhale, stretch, exhale it out. All right, great work everybody. Again, I'll leave the link for the bands and my email address. Ask me any questions, give it a whirl. Okay, I hope you're hanging in there at home. Bye.